Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a UAC noob and I interviewed a Hoplite Trapper to learn how to create Minecraft traps with different levels of complexity. Everyone say what's good to Shadow.
What's up guys, Shadow here. In today's video, we're going to be doing an interview on trapping with Puct.
In this talk, we're going to mainly cover 3 traps and the game sense behind them. And without further ado, let's get into the interview. All right, so in the previous interviews with Judlo and Doomcow, we covered fairly basic traps in terms of redstone, such as the head hitter, which requires 0 redstone, and the flat ground trap, which is extremely effective and a little bit complex, but not the most complex. However, in this video, I want to go over learning redstone so that people could invent new traps. Could you go over some examples of more complex traps and each block's function and making the trap work so that, people can learn from them?
Yeah, for sure. I think one good trap to start with for the purpose of learning would be it would be this iron door. Fake iron door trap is what I've done in one of my videos before. So why don't I just like set it up and you can get kind of the gist of how it works. So it would be like the most obvious trap ever, right? And what I'd do to bait would be I pretend to find it and I'd just like look and examine it. And I'd look down here and I'd let the enemy actually hit me in. And so they would think that they actually trapped me, right? Right.
We have a visitor.
As soon as they shift over the edge, I would have this setup here, which is kind of resemblant to the flat ground setups.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just, pulls down, pulls to the back.
Yeah, exactly. And so this should be pretty familiar to viewers that already understand how that works, but it's actually quite simple. You just have, a setup like this where you make sure you have to take away these blocks around the sides of the slime block so that
it doesn't get stuck.
Exactly. And I think this should just work. And I could move the dust like this. And oh, this block is blocking it up, but
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And you just dig it down from there, set up your funnels.
Yeah, there we go.
So that would be pretty funny. So you could try it on me if you want. You could just look over the edge.
Oh my god, there's a trap.
Oh my god.
Ah! I trapped Shadow Killer _NM, bro. There you go. That's how to do it.
See? It's such a fun trap.
Yeah, it's even more basic than the flag ground. It's actually crazy, and it might be more effective. I don't even know. I mean, I know the flag ground has its merits, but there's something about just trolling somebody beyond just trapping them, right?
Yeah, I think this is more satisfying because you got them.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so basic. Like y'all could do this tomorrow or right after you watch this video.
I know. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So my follow-up question, I guess, was where are you gonna build the iron door trap? I know it looks pretty obvious. So would you say like anywhere, or are there like some criteria of places where you would build that trap?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for the iron door trap, I would say I would build it in a more foresty area so that other players would
like
find
somewhere
it.
like around here, right?
Yeah, here would be a good location. I wouldn't put it directly at 0-0 because other players might find it before I get back to it, and they would like find it and kind of dig around it, see what's going on.
What do you suggest? Maybe like, I don't know, 200 blocks, 250 maybe? Would that be?
Yeah. I guess it just depends on the terrain and stuff, but if you believe no one's gonna find it 150 blocks away, if it's in a nice forest, then you can do it there too.
For sure. Okay, sounds good. All right, man. You have another trap to show us? A crazier trap even?
Yeah, right. I think right here would actually be not bad. I'd probably mine a few terracotta blocks and sort of edit the terrain myself. Yeah. And so something like this would be like pretty good looking. And we'll set up the water right here.
Yep.
This one won't be too tall, but it'll still work. So I would have kind of the column of pistons like this, and then I'd have it's like a T of pistons like this. This one's like a lot more complex than the other one.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like people are following just like a line of pistons down, and they go a block forward, and then make a small half plus.
Yeah. So what I do from here is I'm just gonna like set up some redstone dust, and I have this little circuit. You can go in spectator if you really need to, but I think you can see me just fine. So yeah, so I just kind of have a setup like this, and I get to the bottom. Now it's been a while since I built this, so I'm just doing it off memory. Yeah. Or just kind of like intuition.
Oh yeah, and then this observer is facing up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Hold on. I think it's like this, and I have one observer here and one here, and dust like this.
Yep.
Okay, I think I got this actually. It was good. A sticky piston here, and redstone like this. I'm messing around with the pistons a little bit because of all these observers. That's okay though.
Are you updating them?
Yeah, because I'm in the middle of construction, but it looks fine for now. I'm gonna just test it out. So first, I'm just gonna place the water in. I first need to actually just build a hole here and place place a few signs here like this, just for the flow of the water. And oh, very close to working. I just need to. Oh my god, yeah, it works. I just need to set this block up here, and we're actually good now, I believe. So if I place the water in, it'll fully reset itself, which is nice. And if I take the bucket, it'll open it up and players will fall through here.
Perfect. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go a bit out of order here. This is a bit impromptu. Could you describe us that error you made and how you realized to fix it?
Yeah, it's good. So what I realized is I'm actually down here. So every time I pull the trap, this block switches or alternates positions from up here and down here. Yeah, and what I realized is that the initial position should be down here, but I had it up here when I first built it, and that was a mistake by my end. So the initial position of the block is, it's down there because this torch here can kind of conduct through the block and activate this redstone, right?
Yeah, but if the block isn't here, then that I understand now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, because redstone torches could pass a signal through a block, but if there's no block there, then they're got
exactly.
it. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
What I've noticed is that the errors in redstone builds or traps isn't really the build itself, but more so something being improperly placed somewhere, something not registering properly. So it's important to know how the mechanism works so that you can make those fixes. You get me?
Yeah, I agree with that. So it's always good to understand what's going on under the 100%. Ground in the redstone. So if you want, you can try running this on me. I'll give you an empty bucket.
And before I do, I guess could we briefly go over the trap itself? Like I know we talked about errors, but like what each thing does. Like why this observer reads the water, right? These pistons are to bring everything back, but this note block and observer setup. Could you describe this?
Yeah, actually, what would be great for this is there's a new command, tick freeze. So I froze the game, and now I'll get rid of the water now. And if I step it a little bit, you'll see that it's read it, which is good, which is what we want. And now this whole line here, as well as this vertical kind of column of observers, redstones, and note blocks, it's gonna all read. And as you can see at the front here, you can see these pistons are actually like pushing,
right,
which gets rid of the water, which is nice.
My question is that how does the signal get passed down? Like I understand this signal working and the no block reading the observer down here, but then how does it get to here, right?
Yeah, good question.
Because it's like a diagonal block to the left, right? Like that doesn't really seem like something that would work in terms of activating this piston.
Yeah, so this note block, this observer, it faces down. Yeah, and it conducts through that block here that I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's like the torch with the wood plank. It conducts to this redstone right here, which conducts to this piston, which blocks the redstone or makes the redstone go through this. Right. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But what is the purpose of this observer right here?
That's a great question, and this is a little bit more into the complex side of how the trap works, but there's one specific piston that I need to kind of push it out and then pull back, and it's at this block that I'm looking at right here. Like
could we just break this real quick? Just I think it's like that. Like that.
Yeah. So it's like this, and you can watch it from here actually. So the reason this needs to push and then pull again is it needs to get rid of this water here, but it also needs to pull back so that players can fall through it, right?
Yeah.
The exact setup I can show off right here It's something like this. So you know how observers, they'll cause the piston to just push the block out like that, right?
Right.
But if you have one of the observers a little bit delayed, and this will activate the piston as well. Now it's going to
pull back,
give the piston a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's a signal than a reverse signal, right?
Exactly. And that's exactly what we need for there, except I just had it in a little bit of a different layout than this. But
yeah. Okay, so fundamentally, just to review, the purpose of this observer right here is to make it so that that forward piston that removes the water comes back.
Yeah, so there's this observer, which happens sooner than this observer down here.
Yeah, this observer pushes it. This observer pulls it.
Exactly. Yeah, we can. You want to see it happen? I guess.
Yeah, let me get you with it. Yeah, I guess so. Let me get got an empty bucket.
So what you do when you get up here is you can just look down, and then as soon as you see me, you can just get rid of the water with the bucket. So I'm just gonna go in game mode 0, and I'll just chase you down. Alright.
No, get away from me.
And you got me. There you go.
I got him. I got the famous shadow killer, guys. GG.
Yeah, and what's really great is that you can make this as tall as you want, and so it'll make the pull timing much easier.
Yeah, because the way this works is that this setup of the no blocks and the observers, we can just keep repeating it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's infinitely expandable.
Yeah, this no block with the redstone and this observer, just like copy and paste as many times as you need to for the signal to come down to this piston and these two observers that help push and pull back the bottom. And yeah, what about the waterfall trap? Obviously, we did it in a mountain, but is there like a specific height of mountain, specific biome you look for? Just like, you shot it, like wing it. Like, what's the criteria for this one?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So for the biomes, it doesn't really matter too much as long as there are nice mountains that have flat edges. Even in an ice biome, I know that water can actually freeze, but if you put a torch around the water at the top, it won't freeze, which is nice. And yeah, I would build it as close to 0-0 as possible. No one's gonna find it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so this final trap that I really want to run, because this would be so much fun, would be sort of a sky-based water pool trap, which I already have many different variations of, but this one would be great for civilization.
Yeah.
So I'm going to set up a water pool that I made myself, and well, I'm not going to put the water right away. First going to get rid of all these blocks here and set up some vertical pistons to kind of cut off the water for when players actually jump down from the sky.
Yeah.
So this may take a while, so I'm just going to like spam redstone everywhere, but
let me help you a little bit here. Yeah. let me.
Yeah. Thank you. So for the exterior pistons, or I'm sorry, the ones that are on the perimeter, you can have them activate through this line here. You kind of see this, how it's kind of going through. But for the ones in the center, you'll need to use observers. And I actually messed up. I need to move this dust one block lower. So I'll just do that now.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
So leave space for the observers. But yeah, you can start placing observers facing upwards from there, just like that.
By the way, do you know why the terminology of an observer is it's facing up even though you place it down?
I don't know. It was something I had to get used to when I transitioned from 1.8 to 1.20.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but it just is what it is. Yeah, so these vertical, or sorry, top slabs. So you'll notice if I try to clutch in it, it'll put the water in there, so you can't, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So we'll just place a bunch of these, and we should have lots of cobblestone from digging that area down there. Yeah, we can place water, so you just make sure to place water on the sides. And I'll just have an area, we'll have probably one teammate here, just ready on the pull, so you have a lever, just like that. And
it just got connected, just like anywhere on the outside.
Exactly. So we could have one teammate setting up a sky base, and I'd probably make this like 70 blocks up, but I'll just make it very chill for now, not too high. So when I dig the dripstone death falls, it'll be 35 blocks down, but that's because dripstone doubles fall damage, so we'll do it 70 blocks because there's no dripstone. And yeah, so it'll just be a typical stairway sky base, and as soon as they get up, you'll have your no armor, you'll jump into this water pool here.
Yep.
And and we'll have either one teammate or you can do it yourself. You can just pull the redstone, and yeah, that's all that's gonna happen. It's gonna kill them.
And you can pretty much connect this anywhere, just wherever you want.
Yeah, and typically you'll only get 1 or 2 players from a whole civilization, so we could have other traps on servers just in case.
Yeah, no, I definitely like the idea of a fake trap on the staircase. I think you just need a piston right now. I have a sticky piston, just a piston and then a pressure plate, and then you know you just get people to fall off, right?
Yeah. Oh, so on your way up, I guess what you do is you'd place a pressure plate like. Oh wait, I already had placed. So you place it like there, and then the stair there, so they can't really jump over it and they'll fall. Some players fall for this. It's actually crazy.
Nah, this is no way though, bro.
Dude, it's actually funny. It's so funny.
I mean, that actually be a tragedy. I mean, yeah, but like the point is like even though they do fall for this, like they're just gonna clutch here. You know, we got nothing to. We could make it a real trap, I guess.
That's true. But the crazy thing is, like the players that fall for this, they're probably not even good enough to clutch. So.
Perfect, man. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, I guess where do you, what do you like? What terrain do you look for this one? Just like I guess where there's not a lot of water or like a lot of flat ground, I guess.
Yeah. So I'd make this as close to 0-0 at the center of the map as possible to find the most players, and then I'd put the water pool in an area that's far away from all the other water. So this is their only option. Unless they want to clutch themselves.
Yeah, but I feel like a concern would be like, what if you don't land, like you just land away from it? You know what I mean?
You could. I feel like when you're very high up, players are a lot more scared of trying to hit the clutch with ping and stuff.
Yeah,
like
because like I might as well go for the guarantee water.
Exactly.
And then you can't even clutch on these slabs. Yeah, it's genius, bro. It's genius. All right, perfect, man.
Yeah.
I guess that wraps up the traps. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.